This is a special service. It's called our Spiritual Q&A service. And this is an opportunity for you to ask your spiritual questions. If you have a burning desire to know what does Unity think or teach around non-attachment, or what does Unity think about forgiveness, or if you have a special spiritual practice that you really love and you'd like us to dig a little deeper into it, this is an opportunity for you to ask us. We'll take a moment in the silence as we sink into this experience where you can then draw upon whatever's alive in you. Allow that curiosity within you to open up. Write it on the card, and then we'll pass it to the center aisle, and our assistants, our friends will gather them and bring them up, and then the three of us will answer your questions. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And whatever concerns that you may have in this moment, this is a little different. It's a little maybe uncomfortable. It's not what you would anticipated. We just let that go for the moment so that we can open our heart to infinite love and open our mind to curiosity. What is alive in you? What do you want to bring forward and bring into the conversation today? And when you're ready, write that question on the card and then pass the cards to the center aisle, and we will retrieve them from you.
Just a little bit about myself and my journey at Unity real quick. So I started coming in 2010, and just everything just spoke to me, and I settled into it and started taking classes, and went to the minister at the time. I said, I think I could do this. I think I could be a licensed Unity teacher. And she kind of looked at me and went, oh. I said, what? She goes, I thought you were going to say minister. And I'm like, let's start with licensed Unity teacher. So I started down that path, which is quite a commitment and lengthy path. And in 2019, I was became a licensed Unity teacher. So I'll hand it over to Joe. And I'm Casey, out of the Joe and Casey.
Hi, everyone. My journey in Unity started 2012. And what drew me was actually the 5 principles draw me. Principle number 4, really resonated with me because I was at the time looking for, I said, God, there's got to be a community where Christianity and Buddhism meet somewhere. Fast forward, 2014, I took John's class on prosperity. And one of my favorite ways to pray is ask question, plain and simple. And I asked God, what is my life purpose? Clear as day, ordained Unity minister, Philippines. And I said, God, you got to be kidding, right? So I said, I'll come back to you in 3 days and see if your answer is still the same. 3 days later, it's still the same. So I have been on that journey since 2014. And much like Casey said, it does take a commitment. One of the things that I learned from that is that when God calls, God equips the calls. Because I'm like, I think at that time I had to take 25 classes, Unity classes, and all of them wonderful journey. It's all about getting to know myself, and more importantly, getting to know that one power and one presence. And what does that look like in everyday life? Because that was my main thing. So I became a licensed Unity teacher. And this was interesting. It fell on my wedding anniversary, November 28th, 2023. So I was like, oh God, you made it easy for me to remember. The anniversary of when I became an LUT, my wedding anniversary, my commitment. And as far as the ministerial journey, I am still discerning that, and I think I might be doing it with the international ministry. I have spoken with them. They're willing to work with me, but you have to figure that out. And when would that be? I don't know. I'm waiting for that time, so that's me.
Thank you both. Well, we'll work on getting your ordination on November 28th.
Yes.
Are you ready for your questions?
Yes.
First question is from Holly online. She says, hi, Reverend John, how does Unity conceptualize the soul? Is this the I am? I feel like I'm the teacher. Well, students. I'll start. The soul in Unity is the whole of our consciousness. So it does include the I am, that, or a super consciousness, as the Fillmores once said, but it also includes our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our feelings, and the experiences that go along with it. So the soul is the encapsulation of the whole of our consciousness in unity. How does unity deal with love? Very well, someone said.
Very well.
Wouldn't they say love is all there is? Because God is love. And then the human experience comes in. And then we learn to love that and to accept and open. So that's a big question, but that's just what popped up right away is, well, God is love. And so how do you deal with love? Everything is love, and it's our degree to which we can open to the moment to express that love, to express God.
How does unity view judgment of others? Don't do it. So judgment, it's interesting because judgment is one of our 12 powers, the 12 powers of Christ, the 12 attributes within us. When we like it, when it's good, we call it wisdom. When we are looking at it through the lens of ego, through the lens of our frustrations or our resentments, then it becomes what we call a judgmental attitude. And judging someone else really does nothing for you. What it does is it creates more resentment within you. So judging someone or something or some experience out there is not healthy for us. Now, you can look at something and say, well, I have this condition in me. I'm not going to judge it as perfect. Well, that's a judgment too. You may have a wonderful relationship and say, well, I'm judging it as wonderful. Well, that's a judgment too. And sometimes that feels good, right? And that's okay. And the key is to realize when we are starting to get judgmental, where are we coming from? What lens are we looking through? Are we looking through a lens of love, of connection, of harmony? Or are we looking through a lens of separateness, of resentments and frustrations? So our judgments, if we're intentional about looking at them, will tell you what consciousness, what you're holding, and what you're putting out into the world.
I think for me, thank you, John, for judgment, because if it is like what John said, if it's coming from the place of love, then it is wisdom coupled with that. If it's coming from the place where I'm being critical or I'm being condescending, what it triggers for me, and this is one thing I've learned from a lot of this self-awareness, is what is that in me that is that, because obviously whatever I'm resonating with, that judgment is a resonance with me. If it's something that I love, it's coming from love, then it's the love in me resonating with that whatever it is that I'm loving or judging with that person. If it's coming from a critical and criticism and judgmental, then what is it in me that I feel that I'm also judging? If it's someone's driving, it is my driving. How many times have I cut the person and I'm being judgmental about them? And is it my impatience? Is it more, I think when I'm judging from the criticism point of view, it is really more my fear coming out. And it's really the fear in me that's asking, hey, I need to pay attention here and give me some love. So in a way, it's my reflection, a mirror of, hey, what's up? What's going in here? What's missing? And what do I need at that point?
That dovetails into the next question. How do I know the still small voice inside of me is the right voice? Spirit talking to me or my own voice of ego?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see, I'm just trying to think in my experience. I think sometimes my energy can I get excited on something and I hit it, if I'm like, that's it. And in times that's great. I think that's a part of who I am. and the joy and the exuberance and the energy I have. And there are times that I know I need to stop again and sit with it. Because if it's the right way, it'll be there. If that voice is the voice I should be listening to in that moment. And here's the thing also, by sitting with it and getting quiet with it, and, kind of multiple days at a time, let me just sit with this again and take it in meditation and prayer. It's also an experience. There might be, do it without judgment then, or with commitment of, in this moment, this is what I am choosing, because 5 days later, there might be something I go, oh, I should have done that. What did I learn from this? And there, I don't know. It's not mine to know how I get there. It's to do the very best that I can in the moment. So if I know I've done my due diligence with prayer, meditation, and keeping my eyes singular, that is my best in that moment. And then that is the right choice in that moment.
And I think the other, just for me real quick, I can listen to the idea and ask, is this based in love and harmony and for the good of all, or is this my ego, or is this my frustrations? And as I move through it, I continue to ask, is this for the highest good? And what comes to me as I'm moving forward are course corrections. So it may be something that it's based on ego, and I get nudged back in the other direction if I listen, if I stay connected and stay in tune. So that's how I navigate it. How do you live in a changing government? Resist wrong. I think it says resist wrong ? I'm guessing is the question is resisting wrong. So I'm going to start with this. There's also been another question in here that I saw around politics and why don't we talk about politics, or why aren't we active in politics? For me, it's, and I don't speak for Unity. Unity has thousands of churches and centers, ministers and teachers, and all of us come to our own decision. And some are very active, and some are very active in politics, and some aren't. Some are very active personally, and then at their church, they're not. They hold a place of centeredness. And that's where I come down on it. I believe, as we talked about, I think last week or the week before, we're in a sanctuary right now. This room is a sanctuary. Unity Palo Alto is a sanctuary. And out there in the world, in any given time, it's like a storm. It's like a hurricane going on. Right? The waves are crashing. There are ideas and ideals that are clashing. There are things that are happening in the world that can get us upset. And yet, in the center of the hurricane, there is perfect peace and beauty. And that's my vision about what Unity Palo Alto, the spiritual community, and this spiritual center is all about, is creating a space where we can come together in differing ideas and be present to the divine within us, within each other, and let go of our needing to be right, wanting to do things my way, and just being able to build the spiritual strength within us so that we can be that eye in the storm when we go out into the world. What is yours to do out in the world is yours to do. And here at Unity Palo Alto, my vision is that we come together to support each other. We come together to hold each other in this experience, in this spiritual experience of love, of harmony, of peace, so that we can build our spiritual strength and we can go do what is ours to do. There are plenty of organizations that are well-funded that are in the political activism spectrum, and you can get involved in one of those. But here at Unity Palo Alto, my vision is for us to come together so that we can be together even in our differences, and be together so that we can connect and learn to be that eye in the storm when we go out into the storm, and be the good that is here present in the world. I plan on inviting friends to UPA Day. How do I explain Unity Fun Day What do I say unity is? I'll talk about the fun day. It's fun. The whole purpose of next Sunday is to celebrate our community, is to come together with this beautiful spiritual community and celebrate that peace and love and joy that we create in the world, to celebrate that vibrancy that we are. And for me, the energy just keeps getting better. So what a wonderful way to come together and celebrate it. We'll have a barbecue after the service. We'll have some games. We'll have some music. Margot will be singing for us. It's just a wonderful opportunity to celebrate community. Now, what's unity?
Well, I think, no, I just want to take it specifically. How would I invite someone to the barbecue, if that's fair? I'd be like, hey, you want to come out, hang out with some fun people who love to sing, who are accepting and open, and it's just going to be a fun day. I mean, I think it's like, do you get into philosophy? It's like, I think that I don't know, it's like, yes, if they have questions specific about what do they believe, but I just think it's an open, loving, accepting place, and it's going to have a good burger. I mean, what? You know? And I think about that too. I have friends that I would love to, I keep in my heart go, come, come, come. And I just like, I don't know when the right time and the right space will be for them. And then I think any one of us here can say, I took away this, I took away this. It's going to be different. But I think it's just basically open and fun-loving. It's just, we like to have a good time.
Actually, I won't be here on our fun day. I'll be out of town. I think, how would I describe it? I think, well, it starts off feeding the soul, and then feeding the heart, and then most importantly, feeding the body. I think, because at the end, right, there's the fun, the music, and stuff. And one thing I love about Unity, when I was thinking about this, I said, one thing about our movement is that you take what sticks with you. It's kind of like they say, oh, it's like spaghetti. See what sticks. And I said, I love that about Unity when I first started coming, is like, what nugget can I get today that I can put in my pocket during the week that would help me? And I think I used to call it as hacks, you know, because we have a lot to deal with in life. So what's that hack, or what's that nugget that I can bring home, right? That's the feeding the soul. And then, hey, and after that I get fed. You're feeding the body. You know, the easiest way to the heart is what? The stomach. Hey, right? And the fun and the laughter. And gosh, who can beat the weather that we have at the moment? Being out in the sun, being out with people that are inclusive and loving, and yes, we have differing opinions, and yet accepted in that same place, in that love and that harmony. I mean, how could you say no to being fed at all levels? I mean, that's my thing.
And if they want to know more, Christine gave a great elevator pitch today, so just listen to her intro.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I was going to say the same thing. The 5 principles, the core principles of unity. There's only one presence and one power, active in our life and in all the universe. God. God the good, omnipotence. That one presence and one power is the substance and the intelligence innate in everyone. And each of us has the ability to allow that to shine. And we do that through the thoughts that we have, the mind action, the things that we hold in our mind is how we see the world and how we live from the world. So our teachings are here to create a spiritual mindset for us. And the most effective way to become aligned and available is through prayer and meditation, affirmative prayer and meditation, and the daily practice of developing that spiritual mindset. So which unity principle have you found most helpful to your spiritual growth? I'll start. Mine is non-resistance. Non-resistance is not doing nothing. Non-resistance is not being at odds with what is. What is in life is happening. What is. Non-resistance says this is the appearance of what is. And I don't allow that thing, whatever that is, to take my power away from me. I don't allow it to, I don't give it my power. I don't allow it to make me frustrated. I don't allow it to take me down the rabbit hole. I simply recognize this is what is, and I am more than that. I'm one with the allness of life. So non-resistance is my favorite.
I think just the oneness, the belief in oneness and connection, because it just guides me. If I find myself in fear, it's like, okay, stop. What am I really believing? Am I connected? Is there really one power? Is that energy my energy running through me? And even joy, sadness, whatever. Oneness is just, I think, has become a little thread in my life, in my day, in my hour, in my minute, in my second, whenever I need it. That's what I go back to is being one, whether it's knowing I'm grounded in this energy or just needing to see it in myself, needing to see it in how I'm reacting or acting with another. So just that is something that I think really grounds me and guides me and covers many areas of my life.
Piggybacking on Casey's, mine is also that whole idea of the one power. There's only one power, one presence active in the universe and in my life, that instead of seeing just the God out there, it's knowing that that God, that divine love isn't just out there. It's me in number two, the I am. And I think when I started realizing number two actually is one of the biggest pivotal, knowing that there's a favorite line in a song that I am no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. That I am a child of God, not because I did anything, not because I prayed or meditated for 1 hour or, did all of this. Just because I am, just because now I'm here, I'm already a child of God. And it was a very big turning point to see that, wow, God, I am an original blessing because I am your kid and you love me just because. No reasons, no nothing to prove, no merit, no nothing, just because. And that was a very pivotal point to see that although in the beginning I was like, what? Because I came from a very traditional background of, wait, I'm original sin first, right? But I didn't realize unity was the one that helped me see, before the original sin came into the whole thing, if you study Genesis, you are a blessing. That you are good regardless. I'm already good, period. Because why? The God that's in me and as me is good. That's why substance and intelligence, I am already good. And that was so like when I'm having a day that's not so good, wait a second. Let me remember the basic goodness that I am, the basic goodness that God is. And when it's like, that's a turning point for me to remember my basic goodness.
I think I'm going to dovetail off of that one because the next question is, how can unity help me deal with depression? I have experienced depression, and I will say that the way it helps me is when I remember that the depression is being caused by some thought I'm having. And when I remember that I can change that thought. I can reframe that thought. I can find other aspects around that thought that are actually true, that are uplifting. And when I do my practices, when I do the spiritual practice, meditation and affirmative prayer, when I go for my hikes, when I eat healthy, when I do all of those things that are good for me, Unity's principles make it easier. It's easier for me to switch my thinking using affirmative prayer.
I'll ducktail after the ducktail after the ducktail. I think when I'm depressed, it's just, or that fear, it's like, how can I not be enough? If I am one with the true power and I am that energy and I am God, that God within, how can I not be enough? How can I not have love in my life? If I am one with the divine and the divine is love, how can I not have love in my life? And so I just, I take that question and bring it back in and then hold it and acknowledge it. In this moment, I'm not feeling this. And the truth is this. So can I light a candle to remind me? Let that, if I can't hold it within, can I have a symbol without? Put a rock in my pocket. The rock reminds me that I am one. Can I start a gratitude journal? So do the most simplest, basic thing that you can in the moment of your depression to stay connected. You only have to know one thing. If it's I am love, I am peace, I am enough, and do whatever one thing you can do in the moment.
For me, journaling helps to just journal out whatever I'm feeling so that the feelings have a voice. And usually also from that feeling is, where is this coming from? This very feeling, the thought that John was talking about. And then, what do I need? Because like what Casey said, maybe at that moment I just need love. And I think another one there is just of letting go of, not letting go of whatever that thought that led to that feeling. And then affirming, I am love, whatever, or it could be even the prayer of protection. Any of our prayers or affirmation that takes me out of that depression.
What does Unity believe about Jesus? Go. Oh my
Way
gosh.
shower.
Way shower.
Way shower.
Yeah, the master teacher, the way shower, the demonstrator, way shower, the one who shows us the way. What is Christ consciousness? As Paul said, the Christ in you, your hope of glory. The Christ consciousness is that divine I am within you, that each of us has, that Jesus taught we each have. Unity often, if you go to different Unity churches, you might hear the word Christianity used in different ways. I don't use it so much here because I view us as more of a pan-denominational spiritual center. Unity was founded in what they called practical Christianity. That is, practical daily application of the teachings attributed to Jesus. Now, today, Christianity has a different definition. If you look online, you'll find a lot of different ideas around the world, Christianity, and most of the world holds a mindset around what that word means, and it doesn't really often align with the idea that Unity was a man who achieved his Christ consciousness, who demonstrated it purely, who taught, who healed, who ministered to people. That's where Unity lies with it. And whatever your view of this divine being called Jesus, you're welcome to hold it. We don't require you to have a specific definition around it. But this is what I understand Unity to believe. You want to add anything? So sorry, go ahead.
And one thing that from Unity Philippines, one of the way that they said about purpose of Christianity is really to help us realize that oneness, to realize that most importantly we are the children of God. And because that's one thing that Jesus talked about, the Father and I are one. So that oneness is really true purpose of Christianity.
Okay, my question is, do you know how lucky, happy, blessed I feel that I have Unity in my life? You know it now. Can I still call myself a Christian if I don't take the Bible literally but appreciate Jesus, or enlightened as an enlightened, loving teacher? I believe you can. I believe you can. What do you do when the leader is not giving loving ideas to shine the leadership position? Be loving. Be the light. Be the peace. Lead from where you're at. If you become judgmental and argumentative and gossipy around whatever leader is in your organization or in your life, then you are becoming the same. You are spreading anger and frustration and rage. So become loving.
Can I just real quick? Out the phrase, be the change you want to see in the world, that's where this comes into me. Because whatever it is you're wanting to see from the leader, be that tenfold. Let it come. Be the leader in that, like John said, then you're the leader and you're leading where you're from. We always say where I work, I'm an executive admin, and we always say manage up. You might need to manage up.
Manage up. And who do we have to manage first? That's right. Manage yourself up. Manage yourself up. When you are finding judgmental attitudes towards others, where are you like that? That's my favorite question I ask myself. Where am I like that in the world? If it's something that's really triggering me, how can I become a better leader of me? Let's take that. Move to our affirmation, Felix. I open my mind and heart and give the gift of me. I am generous. Would you affirm that with me together? I open my mind and heart and give the gift of me. I am generous.